So we have a little bit of a problem. The American people are running out of money. And the problem is that banks are not willing to help. Your employer is not willing to help. And in fact, in most cases, your employer and these banks are putting more pressure on you to figure it out on your own. Now, I want to break down what's happening at this time and why we are seeing some massive retailers start cutting prices just to lure customers back into their stores. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment. All I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So yes, it is true. Americans are running out of money and have been for many months. We are seeing millions of people are spending less money than ever before. But at the same time, we're also seeing where some people are losing their jobs. Millions of people are also seeing a reduction in hours, which means at the end of the month, they have less money to spend. All this is adding up and it's turning into a massive crisis. But to piggyback off all that and make this crisis even worse is that many companies are actually eliminating some of their perks for working for them. For instance, certain companies were giving their employees free gym memberships. Well, they've cut that out and now the employee has to pay. Many were offering free or reduced childcare. That is actually going away as well. A lot of these different perks, even transportation, it's going away. Some companies are not giving their employees a company vehicle anymore. Now you have to rent the vehicle from the company because the company wants to make a little bit extra money. But as all these things start to happen, many Americans are now turning to their credit cards and to banks for some additional help. Look at this. This article says, I run out of money each month. The Americans borrowing to cover daily expenses. It's not just the big bills, the credit cards, the car payment, the mortgage. Some people have to borrow to cover a Netflix account, have to borrow to cover a cell phone bill, even something like going and paying for a hot dog, a hamburger, just a meal. They have to borrow in order to afford it. That is a problem. But guess what? Banks are not here to help. Right now, banks are making it much harder to go and get a loan than ever before. If you wanted to go and get a loan for a new car, well, tough luck. It's going to become more difficult. You want a loan to get an RV, a side-by-side, a motorcycle, a jet ski. It's going to be more difficult. What we are seeing is something that it's nothing new. We've seen it before. We saw it back in 2007, 2008, a little bit, but it's happening now more than ever. Look at this. It says why no warning credit limit cuts happen and what you can do. What's a no warning credit limit cut? Well, I've talked about this before, where I was actually the victim of this as well, where I say victim, but really the company can do whatever they want. It is their duty. But one of the things that happened is I had a credit card where I was using this to go and I was purchasing items from bigger retailers and wholesalers and stuff like that to flip and sell on Amazon, doing Amazon FBA. Well, in the end, the company just reduced my credit limit by more than half. So instead of getting, I don't remember exactly what it was now, and I've talked about this before where other people have added done where they had $20,000 as a limit. Then all of a sudden, let's say it's something they use to purchase goods and stuff for their store or their business. All of a sudden, it gets cut to $5,000 or $10,000. For many businesses, if they're relying on that $20,000 limit, they absolutely need that. And I talked about this probably 3 to 6 months ago. And I said I had a friend that he had a Amazon business that he was flipping items, he was reselling. The problem was he needed, I think he had like a $40,000 limit, and they cut it all the way down to like $15,000. It wasn't enough. He just can't make his the mortgage, can't make his car payments, can't make all these things because he needed that $40,000. That's what's happening, and it's not just with individuals; it's with businesses as well. Again, it's a big problem because banks are hesitant to give out loans, especially to individuals that don't have just outstanding credit and a long work history. Okay, right? If you have your debt to income ratio is too high, they're not going to lend you any money. But again, I bring all this up because this is just the beginning. Okay, we're starting to see these issues pile on top of each other. And again, we know this is happening because even Walmart and Target are slashing prices. They're not cutting prices in order to give you a better deal and to help you out, put a little bit of money away for savings and retirement. That's not what Walmart and Target are doing. Walmart and Target are fighting for the lower price. They keep undercutting each other because they're trying to bring back you as a customer. That's the only reason. They're losing customers because they are now starting to see the higher end, the higher tier customers aren't coming into their stores anymore. They're not buying the more expensive products. They're buying the lower items, the lower end products. But those are the same products that everybody else was wanting as well. So now we got these higher end products that are just sitting. I talked to a friend of mine who he manages a grocery store over in Idaho. And so he manages this grocery store in Idaho. And he was telling me that some of their nicer breads, and I don't know the name of them, but anyway, they're nicer breads. They're usually $4.99, $5.99, $6.99 for a loaf of bread. He said those ones, which normally the higher end consumers would come and buy those every once in a while. They don't have a lot of them, but they have a handful. He said now they are throwing those things away because they are getting moldy. They're going past their sell-by date. They can't sell them. Nobody wants them. Everybody wants the cheaper store brands. That's what they want for $1.29 or whatever it is. That's kind of what we're seeing. But again, as Target and Walmart and McDonald's start cutting prices, Home Depot is doing the same thing. As we start to see more and more of this, it's going to happen all over the place. I warned you guys about this the other day, and I said if Walmart's doing it and Target's doing it, that means pretty soon the other grocery chains are going to have to follow suit, because if they don't, they're going to lose more customers to Walmart and Target. Most likely more of them are going to go to Walmart just because they have usually a larger selection of grocery products. But again, that's just grocery products. If you want some better products, probably Target. You want better customer service, probably Target. Right? A little bit cleaner store, probably Target. So again, all this stuff's happening right now, but the reason I'm bringing this to your attention today is because we are heading into Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend, you see a lot of Memorial Day sales. My guess is, and again, I'm just check this out. But when you go to a store and it says, it's a sale. Let's say you buying a new pair of shoes, it's $39.95. Double check and see what was the price of that item last week. If you go to Walmart, pull back that rollback sticker and see, is it actually a sale, or did they just put the rollback sign on it so that it tricks you into thinking that you're getting a better deal? Because that is what we are most likely to see. I've seen this at Home Depot, where Home Depot put some items over in their clearance section. Big clearance sign and big sale. And it was a bunch of these things. I don't remember what it was. They're selling it for like $19 or something like that. Well, yes, that's what it is now. But last week, so about a week ago, maybe 10 days ago, that item wasn't $19.90 something. It was actually $16. So they put it on clearance, but marked the price up. Now, I don't know if last week was a glitch. Last week was, they made a mistake and they had to fix it. But I saw that and I thought, that's interesting. What are they doing there? Or are they getting ready for Memorial Day weekend? So we'll see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you right now is, the American people are out of money. Banks are not going to help, and we will be screwed if we can't figure out a way to put a little bit more money in our banks. So we'll see what happens going forward. All I can tell you is I will be here every step of the way. I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.